Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. First of all, before we get into anything, I just want to thank all of you fans so very much. I know I didn't actually end up doing a video for breaking 50,000 subscribers, and I'm very sorry about that, actually. It's something that I had thought about doing. I think I might just have to do a delayed one, a belated thank you video. Maybe that'll do. Maybe that will work. Or we could just wait till I get to 100,000. Just choppity chop. So anyways, this matchup is going to be between ESC's Goody and Mouse's Morrow. This is going to be another best of 3 series between 2 players. I'm trying to do this pretty consistently. People have been really liking the best of 3s, so really happy about that. Also, I'm going to try to make sure that I'm always doing those endgame recaps. People have been liking that. And of course, a big shout out to my boy Cricket, who first gave me that idea. I saw it in one of the videos he actually did for our channel, and I was like, that is phenomenal. I think an endgame recap is a great idea. I'm surprised not many people thought of that prior. So anyways, yes, this is going to be a 3-game series. We're starting things off here on Shattered Temple. Here, of course, is Morrow, the green Zerg player, in the 6 o'clock, and in the 12 o'clock position, we have ESC's Goody as the purple Terran. Goody starting off with that wall off at the front of his base. Let's take a look to see if he's going to get that refinery. Taking a look over here for Morrow. Pretty standard stuff. Nothing too fancy going to be going on yet. Is he going to go? Yes, he is going to be going for an expo. Working on down for that right now. Now taking a look over here inside of Goody's base. We can see there, in fact, is that refinery. We see that barracks just about finished. And no, never mind. He wasn't. Okay, what the F am I talking about? Oh, he's going to be going for a 16 expo. Okay, I figured he was actually going for a 15 expand, but no, going to be going 16 expand and then likely 15 pool. Gonna be interested to see if he decides to get a gas early on, or if he's gonna play kind of Spinishua-esque and avoiding gas till about 40 plus supply when he's got some really nice saturation, and then just going for gas at both the main and the natural. Taking a look here inside the base, actually trying to stop the addition of any. Trying to stop the placement of any additions there on that barracks. Very, very sly move there, Morrow. Going to actually force that SCV to come off the line just to try to deal with that. Going to try to force him. There we go. So finally forcing him off. Now that once that Marine finishes building, he, of course, will be able to stop that drone from stopping the placement of any attachments there to the building. Taking a look over here from RMR, still not on any gas. We can see that pool just about 50% of the way finished right now. So Morrow may, in fact, be going very econ heavy. That is quite likely. Wait, there is an extractor, but it's over here. There you go. So one extractor here inside of the main base of Goody. Morrow going to be using this to, of course, deny the placement of their refinery. Maybe actually trying to go for some cancellation extra scouting, but no, never mind. I don't think that's going to happen. Whoa, canceling and then going for it again. So not trying for that extra scouting. That would have been pretty much impossible with those 2 Marines there, but instead trying to make sure that this extractor stays on here as long as possible by canceling and re-dropping it. Taking a look over here for Morrow, we can see double queens right now, finally getting the gas. So not quite the Spinishua style build, but definitely a very delayed gas and still focusing on a strong economy. He definitely wants that metabolic boost a little bit sooner than we may otherwise see. Taking a look over here, SCV has gotten a full scout. He knows exactly what's going on. Looks like that drone building that extractor was finally taken care of. We can see right now one factory is out right now for Goody, and let's see if he goes ahead to go for a starport or not. Is he gonna do it? No, he is not. Coming out with the Hellion, and never mind, there's the starport placed a little bit further to the north over there. So Morrow's gonna feel safe for a little while right now. He's gonna have Hellions coming out in the next minute or two, and once that comes into play, I'm gonna be interested to see if Goody decides to move out with just one Hellion, or if he's gonna wait till he has a couple. He may just use this for scouting and a little bit of harassment. That's not too far-fetched. Do see that every now and then. We can see, of course, still no second refinery right now, so just sticking to the one. Gonna be going very mineral heavy this early stage of the game. We can see, in fact, actually a second Hellion coming through. So first Hellion going to be making its way on across the board, catching off any straggler Zerglings, trying to do 2 things, scout and cause a little bit of harassment. I don't expect the one Hellion to do too much damage, and he's actually waiting right there for the moment. Might actually wait for the second or third Hellion, so not going to be moving in with just the one. Some nice spreading out over here of these Marines, trying to catch any possible overlords. I may try to sneak in a scout. You can see Goody doing a great job there, spreading out the Marines. Very fantastic play on his part. Dropship, so going to be seeing some drop harass here, probably getting all 3 Hellions into the dropship, and again, it takes 3 Hellions to go basically for a one-shot of any group of drones if they're all clumped up together, so waiting for the 3 is definitely the best move. And actually, no, never mind, gonna be going with just the Marines. Wow, very interesting there. He might actually be just trying to hit with those Hellions from the front. Hopefully, at least, because everything I've forecasted so far has been freaking dead wrong. I mean, you know, there's obviously several things he could have done. He could have very well gone with those 3 Hellions inside of the dropship. He could also try to drop on the side and then pick up the 3 Hellions, or might try to push into the Expo with the 3 Hellions. Got all sorts of options. Looks like he is going to be dropping on the side and then picking up those Hellions with this dropship, bringing them up to the high ground. So this one is gone. Queen's going to be forced to come down with those speedlings. Are the Hellions going to get in the engagement? Hopefully. There we go. Hellions are finally moving in, able to take out those Zerglings. That's going to allow those Marines to actually quite handily deal with those Queens. And there we go, going to be finally picking them up. There are going to be 4 Hellions dropped up here, and this is a little bit frustrating right now for Morrow because he does not have a lot to deal with there. We can see 12 Zerglings coming on through, also trying to work on his Spire. These Hellions can do a lot of damage. Those Marines are going to do a good job of taking care of those Queens, trying to move forward and try to get us around, but no, losing so many workers right there. Absolutely unbelievable. The Queen taking out that dropship, but right now Goody is doing incredible amounts of damage. Let's take a look at the resources lost right now. Morrow has lost almost 2,000 resources so far at this point in the game. That is an incredibly high amount, and actually he was forced to cancel that Spire as well just because of this pressure that he could not deal with. But there we go, finally able to get us around. Is it going to be enough though? I'm not sure that he has enough Zerglings. Yes, he in fact does. Just enough Zerglings plus those Queens. Nice transfuse going down there on that Queen. Finally, Morrow able to fend off that attack, but not without taking his losses. Followed up right with a Banshee. This does not have Cloak, but this Banshee definitely has an opportunity to do a bit of harassment. Now, the Queens are going to do a good job of shooing it away. In fact, never mind. There are 3 Queens here. Is there a 4th? No, just the 3 Queens right now. So that Banshee's not going to be able to do too much damage. He might try to pick off a couple buildings, maybe try to do a little bit of damage to Spinecrawler, or he may just very well be heading back home. Very nice opening there by Goody. Taking a look over here, units killed. You can see 17 workers, 35 units, so a bunch of Zerglings and Queens in there as well. Very nice opening there by Goody. There's all sorts of types of openings Terran players you see in terms of harassment do against the Zerg. I like the Hellion opening in general. I also like that drop that we just saw, and then even opening up, starting with Hellions into fast Cloak Banshees. That's something that can be effective as well. But as we can see here, Goody in fact hasn't decided to go for those Cloak Banshees, just using that regular Banshee for a little bit of harassment. He may actually have an opportunity here to take out this Queen, but no, the Queen retreating to the safety there, the Spore Crawler. But still, Goody's gonna go for it. Is he gonna get it? Ooh, doesn't want to walk into that Spore. And actually going to be taking a couple shots there at the workers. So far in the game, unfortunately for Morrow, hasn't really had an opportunity to do anything but try to deal with this harassment. There's really been no counter response from Morrow and trying to do some damage to Goody. So Goody definitely in a good position. We can see getting up his Expo right now. Let's take a look at what he's going for in terms of production and unit comp. Looks like right now not a whole lot of anything. He's got a couple of Banshees, 2 Siege Tanks, and a couple Marines. So he himself has in fact been just working on upgrades in his economy. You can see double armories right now, so definitely going to be seeing a mech heavy style of play here from Goody. There's another factory. I'm expecting probably a 3rd to come down sometime soon as well. We're going to be seeing a very, very mech heavy build. Be interested to see if he decides to go with Thors or if he's just going to be going for a Hellion tank. We can see right now no upgrades, either the Infernal Pre-Igniter or the Strike Canyon, just sitting with that Siege Tech upgrade for his tanks. Here we go, a couple Zerglings running across the map right now. We do have the 1 Banshee, was able to do a little bit of damage. He does have 1 kill. There's that initial Banshee that was harassing inside of the main base of Morrow. So Morrow just pretty much dealing with harassment so far. He's actually going to be going for these back rocks here and probably going to be trying to whittle down these rocks as well so he can have an extra attack path into the main base, because right now at this point in the game, Morrow definitely realizes, hey, I've got to do some damage because I've been doing nothing but taking it so far for this entire game. So he's definitely going to want to try to reciprocate that favor, if you will. 1 Queen spreading out the creep. Really like to see that by Morrow. Now at this point in the game, Morrow is going to be doing a pretty good job of maintaining map control. In terms of army size, looks like Goody is ahead. In fact, Morrow just been working on trying to re-up his economy after dealing with those heavy losses that he did take from that Hellion Marine drop. Looks like we are going to, in fact, be seeing some Thors come into play here. 1 Thor sitting on the corner there. I think he might have not been able to actually get through there. And there's a couple more factories. So, yes, we are, in fact, going to be seeing 4 factories. Looks like Goody's getting ready to drop another Expo as well. Now, again, as we can see, Morrow just about finished with those rocks. If he doesn't decide to work on these rocks, he at the very least will probably sit 1 Zergling up here to do a bit of scouting. There's that Banshee now sitting with 2 kills. And again, finally, like I mentioned earlier, this is the point of the game where Morrow's going to start to get the map control. He's spreading out that creep, doing a really really great job having speedlings all over the map. He's going to know with this Zergling as soon as the push comes. He will be confirmed of that with this Zergling at the Zelnaga Tower as well, spreading out those Overlords. He can check for any drops. I mean, let's just take a quick look here at Morrow vision. It's just absolutely absurd. He's got clear vision of about 3/4 of the map. It's unbelievable. Pretty much everything but the direct base of Goody. He knows what's going on. There's that one Zergling spotting for this third, so as soon as that does get lifted off and dropped over there, Morrow will be aware of the fact, and he will then probably either go for a counterattack or decide to drop a fourth for himself. Looks like we're seeing roaches right now. We're going to be seeing some infestor play. There's that neural parasite. We have that range upgrade coming in, working up to a hive here as well. They're finally trying to rework with that spire. He tried that initially, but again, because of that drop, he was forced to cancel. We do have 2 banshees coming on down. They're actually going to be checking for the 4th. So moving on in, checking for the 4th over here. Then they may be doing a little bit of harassment over here or checking for the 4th over there. It looks like, yes, they will in fact be going all the way over here to check for that 4th expansion. And here we go right now at this point. Nice Zergling there. Try to block that and delay that as much as possible. He's going to start spreading creep there as well. So Goody's going to have to kill this Overlord before he can actually go ahead and land that because of the creep there. We do have a couple of these Banshees doing some work over here. They're not able to move too far in, but they are doing a little bit of damage to the Extractor. Probably going to start doing some damage to these Roaches here as well. Gonna need some anti-air to come into play, either some fungal growth from some infestors or some hydras. The queens will do well as well, but these roaches are gonna be pretty much free kills right now for Goody. The good thing for Morrow is that it takes those queens so very long, those banshees so very long to actually kill the roaches, that he can still do a pretty good job over there. It looks like a momentary supply block here for Morrow. He did lose the Overlord. They're spreading creep, but look, Goody still has been delayed for so very long. He has to wait until every iota of creep has actually vacated the premises. I wonder where it goes. Is it just like it just recedes into the ground? I'm not quite sure, but I guess it doesn't really matter. That's the kind of things that only a true nerd would actually say, care, or think about. Couple of infestors into play right now. Greater Spire coming through over here as well for Morrow. So Morrow working very heavily on his tech. There's that 4th, and again, like I mentioned earlier, as soon as he spotted that 3rd, he wanted to go ahead and get that 4th up. And a couple of Zerglings getting completely roasted by these idle Hellions. The Roaches, of course, are going to force those back, though. Marines trying to deal with these Overlords that are trying to deny any possible future expansions for Goody by spreading that creep along that area. But Roach is going to be moving right into the 3rd, and this is quite a death trap. Roaches do need to be careful. This is pretty much the last place they want to walk into, especially once that Planetary Fortress comes into play, and Roach is getting torn to shreds, forced to push back right now. The Hellions aren't too much of a concern, but those tanks, Planetary Fortress and Thors, will definitely rip right through those Roaches. Right now, in fact, Morrow gonna be going for a 5th right now. So Morrow going very macro heavy. Couple of infestors over here gonna be used to try to fungal growth any type of harassment that they may see. We do see, of course, these 2 Banshees still sitting over here, checking for a possible expansion over here from Morrow, and then also maybe moved in later in the game to do a little bit more harassing. But he does need to be careful because we do have the destruction of these rocks going down, so we might be seeing some anti-air moving into there. And in fact, what do we have for anti-air right now? There's the evolution chamber. I don't think we have any hydras up there. We have broodlords coming into play already. Holy crap, I didn't even realize that. 17 minutes in the game, broodlords already in play. Here comes that big mech push from Goody. Those broodlords are going to do quite well in this engagement, though. Let's take a look at the unit composition. Bunch of roaches, couple of infestors, but pretty much broodlords is the bulk of his army, in all honesty. That 6 broodlords, such a heavy resource investment, and he's going to be moving across the map. He does, of course, see that this push is coming with all that creep spread. We did have a couple of those tumors dropped because of this Raven. Sorry if I just burped into the microphone. I think I may have. That was very, very rude of me. Morrow going up again, his 5th. Going to be getting that saturated right now. There are those Banshees finally coming back into play. Going to be moving down, trying to do a little harassment at the same time. Hellions going to be moving right here and needs to be very, very careful by these Hellions. Nice fungal growth, though. Roach is cleaning those up very quickly. Those couple of Banshees trying to do a little bit of damage. Can't move too much more further in. They're actually, I think they're on hold position right here, but never mind. See you later. Corruptors are going to be taking care of those very quickly. Hellions trying to move forward, but the Broodlord's taking care of those very, very fast at the very least right now. At least Goody realizes Broodlords are in play. He's going to be coming out with some Vikings to deal with those. Keeping up a very heavy Thor production as well. A couple of tanks and Hellions in there. So again, the mech heavy style of play. We can see Goody still just on the 3 bases right now. Morrow is on 5, only really mining from 4 because his main's pretty much mined out. His natural is close to mined out too. The max you really want to be sitting on is about 3 fully mining bases. That's pretty much that's a lot. I mean, obviously you can expand beyond that point, but we're talking full saturation, full mining. You can see there's hardly any saturating over here, and he doesn't really have a ton of saturation over here as well. So you wouldn't want more than 3 fully saturated because that's so many workers. You're looking at between 60 and 80 workers at that point, and that's definitely that's too much supply basically taken up for for that stage in the game, essentially. What am I? I'm just tumbling over my words here. Roaches trying to move in, do a little bit of damage, and this is actually really nice. Even though he's going to be losing these roaches, he has stopped all the mining over here. He's going to try to hurt Goody's economy as much as possible. That's pretty much the main point of this. Again, stopping the mining here. You can see Goody just about mined out over here at the main. His natural is getting very dangerously low as well. He does have nice saturation over at this third, but the fact that he stopped mining here for even 30 seconds to a minute is definitely a big advantage for him. Couple tanks just kind of setting up shop over there. We have a bunch more corruptors coming into play. Man, oh man, he's loving these Broodlords. Going to want some of those corruptors as well to deal with those Vikings once those do come into play. We are seeing an in-base hatch over here from Morrow as well. This, of course, is going to provide him with those extra larvae for reinforcements once that big engagement does come. And here we go right now. Morrow finally taking the final base on his half of the map. He is sitting right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases once this gets up and running. But here comes a big push right now from Goody. Goody moving across the board. Is he actually going to move to engage this time, or is he still just going for some creep tumors? He may very well just be going for those tumors. So many Broodlords in play. Unbelievable. This is pretty much all he has is Broodlords. Corruptors, again, need to deal with those Vikings. Corruptors, please engage those Vikings. Going to be moving forward with some roaches here, trying to take care of a little bit of those Hellions. Infestors, nice fungal growth there as well, but unfortunately, so much anti-air. Morrow just lost absolutely every Broodlord. He does have this one left, but that's going to get dropped very quickly by those Thors, and this is not good. Goody is going to be rolling in just one moment. What do we have for backup here? A couple of Infestors, also a bunch of Zerglings as well. We do have a ton of Corruptors here. Hopefully those get turned into some Broodlords. 3 more Broodlords, 50 Zerglings coming into play, but here we go. Goody moving right on into the 4th base. He should be dropping this very quickly. It's unbelievable how quickly Thors can actually take down buildings. It's just absolutely nuts. Very nice position here. I like the spread here of these tanks. Is going to be very effective, but we do again have a couple more Broodlords coming into play. Now it looks like, yes, in fact, Morrow has lost that base. He needs to be very careful. Nice, very nice Neural Parasite there, taking care of that Thor. Going to start doing some damage to the units of Goody. Couple more Broodlords moving down. We do have a few more Broodlords over here. Zerglings are trying to wait to engage until the tanks unsiege. The tanks are in siege. Now is the time for the Zerglings to roll forward. There we go. Zerglings catching those tanks unsieged. Going to be able to take care of those very quickly. The Neural Parasite's definitely very effective here from Morrow. That was excellent play there. Zerglings do need to be careful, though. Those Hellions going to be taking care of those very quickly. Hopefully his Broodlords move down. There we go. Broodlords moving down to take care of those. We do have a couple more Thors reinforcing the battle over here. One more Thor over here. Again, trying to do as much damage as he can. 26 more Zerglings. 12 roaches coming here as well. This is really the biggest thing with Zerg late game is how quickly you can reinforce, but still very nice push here from Goody. He's doing absolutely tremendous amounts of damage. Taking a look over here, Goody has killed so many units. Let's take a look at the unit loss tab as well. Looks like Goody is still ahead. He's killed a lot more of Morrow than Morrow has of him, and very nice Morrow mopping up some reinforcements there, but a big problem right now is that Goody looks like he's going to be taking out this base as well. That is going to leave our buddy Morrow with just one fully mining base right now. We are seeing what looks to be like a counter push right now, moving into taking out these Thors, and should be moving into some of these bases here. Are going to be a little difficult to move in the plan for Terra Fortress, but no, actually just taking care of those reinforcements and not going for a counterattack at all. And no, Morrow is going to be losing this base. Just watch how quickly those Thors work through that hatchery. Absolutely unbelievable. We do have one Broodlord trying to engage right here, still on the backside. Couple of Corruptors, and they're not doing a whole lot. Nice Neural Parasite going down on that tank. Going to start shelling out these Thors. A couple more Neural Parasites there as well, and then going to be systematically taking out these units, probably target firing them. There we go, one at a time. So see you later, Thors. That's something that's definitely very frustrating, losing such an expensive unit to nothing but energy, because that's all it really cost. Morrow just using up energy from these infestors to take those Thors and then kill them off one at a time. But what a push there from Goody. Goody taking out the 4th and 5th and leaving again Morrow with just the one mining base. Now he's down to back here. That gold very close to mined out. His natural pretty much all mined out. So is same thing with the main right now. Now we can see, because of that creep spread Goody that he had done earlier in the game, he's delaying this severely. I'm also delaying this one a little bit because there's still some creep over there. The Zerglings pushed over there would be very nice, but here comes an attack right now from Morrow. Morrow's going to be pushing up and doing a little bit of damage. We have a couple infestors moving down, and are we going to be seeing a fungal growth down on that SCV line? It's very possible. One infestor getting targeted down from all of those Hellions with so much damage, but a second fungal growth going down on there, and that is a tremendous amount of damage. He does need to be careful though, because this mech army is looking a bit too strong for him to handle. I cannot believe that this creep tumor made it all the way across the map. This half did get cleared out, but man, oh man, what an intense fight so far. That was a very, very strong push that we saw from Goody. Mech pushes very dangerous to these expansions just because of how quickly they can actually go ahead and drop them once they do get within range. And there is a lot going on now for Goody. He may very well be going for another push. First dropping a scan, taking care of those creep tumors. He's looking to be near supply. There we go, 189 out of 200. Morrow's getting close as well, but still lagging a little bit behind. Broodlord's going to be pushing forward, and man, Morrow's been favoring the Broodlord very much this game. Pretty much Broodlord Infestor is what he's going primarily, throwing in a couple of Zerglings and Roaches there as well, but he's definitely invested the most amount of resources into these Broodlords and these Infestors. And here comes the push right now. Creep Tumor's fully spotting this. Is he going to move forward to engage? He does need to be a little bit careful. Here we go. Broodlord's moving down. Actually, Tank's not going to get sieged because they don't want to force splash damage on their own units. Corruptor's trying to take care of the Vikings, but there are so many Thors, and these Broodlords getting targeted very quickly, but some nice fungal growth plus the Neural Parasite, but I do not think it was enough. Goody managing to mop up all of that with his unsieged tanks. You may ask why his tanks were unsieged. It's because those Broodlords dropping those Broodlings force splash damage against your own units, and that's very dangerous as a Terran player. Looks like Goody's going to be mopping up this Expo again. Morrow is definitely looking to be in a tough position right now. Couple of the Thors moving down as well, and see you later, Expo. We do have some more things coming out right now for Goody, but is it going to be enough? I do not think so. A couple of Broodlords, Spine Crawlers moving forward, burrowing around the tank, and then going to be taking that up in about a half hour once they do actually finally get burrowed here. And going to be moving on to the high yield here as well. Even though he's mined out, losing this is a big pain in the butt. Losing that continuous larva production is very frustrating. I do not think he's got enough to actually deal with this right now. Those Spine Crawlers going to be taken care of very quickly. A couple of Broodlords also moving forward with a lot of Spine Crawlers, but he's going to be losing these before they actually go ahead and get burrowed right now, and that is not good at all. A couple of Roaches moving forward as well. We just do not have enough army right now from Morrow. Only 42 out of against the 144 of Goody. He does not have enough, even with these Spine Crawlers. It's just, not enough damage, and there is the GG. We saw Goody open up this game with some Hellion and Marine harassment. He basically brought a bunch of Marines inside of the medevac and some Hellions down into the main base of Morrow. Big problem for Morrow here was that he got so many of his workers roasted from those Hellions. You can see those drones moving right on in and just getting absolutely demolished. Early game, that definitely set Morrow back very much. After taking heavy losses, Morrow was forced to spend a lot of his economy redroning, and this of course allowed Goody to actually go ahead and get up his expansion, work on into a third, and get a ton of upgrades, working to his mech style of play with a lot of factories, working on the upgrades for his mech units as well, and coming out with the main unit composition of Thor, Hellion, and Tank. Upon hitting supply cap, Goody did push out with his big mech death ball. Now Morrow was going for an Infestor Broodlord composition. Unfortunately for him, however, Goody spotted this, got a lot of Vikings, and was able to quickly take out the Broodlords. You can see right here, Corruptor sat in the back too, not engaging fully from the get-go of this fight, and this pretty much allowed those Vikings to mop up those Broodlords so quickly, and then the tanks, Thors, and Hellions had no problem with all of the ground forces. After that first big engagement, Goody then moved down to the 4th and 5th of Morrow. Now we can see here Morrow was able to mop up the units of Goody, but unfortunately for him, not before losing both his 4th and 5th expansion. This set him behind tremendously. Goody then re-upped his army back to 200 supply and moved out for a second large push. We can see here Goody doing a good job of keeping his tanks unsieged to deal with those Broodlings much more effectively than those siege tanks forcing splash damage against his own units. Unfortunately for Morrow, taking such heavy losses early game and then losing both his 4th and 5th base, he did just not have the army size to deal with this. Even after re-upping his force for some quick reinforcements, it was still not enough, and Goody ended up winning the game. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this commentary. As always, this has been Force Strategy Gaming. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Gonna be moving on to game number 2 and then game number 3 in this best of 3 series. And as always, guys, keep watching and keep owning.